Hey, I'm Leah, and I'm going to talk to you just for a little bit about some things that I've been thinking about lately, some things that have come to my attention, particularly. Today is October 20th, 2022. It's Thursday, and because of what I'm about to say, I want to self-identify just so everybody knows who I am and what I'm talking about. So, like I said, I'm Leah Wellborn. I live in Colorado. I grew up in Texas. That's relevant. And I moved to California during grad school. So, lived in San Jose and then in Los Angeles for a total of about 6 years. And then I moved to Denver, to the Denver area where I am now. Okay, so that's probably going to all be relevant here in a minute. So, to catch you up, I'm Leah. I'm 49 years old. That's also relevant. I'm going to be 50 here in December. And also relevant, I'm white. I look white. I am white. I recently had my genetics done because I was curious, and it turns out that I have 98.7% heritage from what is currently the United Kingdom. So, pretty white. And also, incidentally, I have more Neanderthal DNA than 70% of the population, which I thought was really wickedly cool. But that's just kind of a side thing. The reason that I wanted to tell you my age and my name, another thing I forgot, I'm a witch. I'm a self-identified witch. I've been practicing witchcraft since I was 16, so a long time. I'm 49, and that's also very important because of what I'm going to tell you now. I'm really engaged, although people don't, I'm not a known person in the spiritual community. I follow, I'm a follower. I also have a really small spiritual coaching practice for women, and I teach classes, and I'm all about the woo and the spirituality. Okay, so I think that's all the background you need to know. It has come to my attention through some people who I follow, and also really through just personal experience. Shit, one more thing I forgot to tell you. I'm autistic. I'm neurodivergent as hell. I was diagnosed as being autistic earlier this year, so it was a long time coming. Weird kid, I'm kind of weird. I have never fit in. I know a lot of people say that, but honestly, never got married, never had any kids, always been my weird little person, and that troubled me a lot throughout my life. It was very upsetting. I was a very depressed person and very anxious person. And I have hereditary mental illness, so cop into all that. But it wasn't until very recently, I'm going to really say right around the time of COVID, that I began to really come into my own and come into my power. And I think the slowing down of the world allowed me the space to really come into my own and to realize what's important to me and who I am. And even though I'm autistic, maybe especially because I'm autistic, I have a lot to give the world. Now, I'm going to try to get back to what I was saying before. It's come to my attention through a lot of the spiritual people who I follow, and also through my own personal experience, that just like in pretty much all aspects of American society, I'm just going to speak for America because I've never lived anywhere else, so I'm just going to say what I know. In the spiritual community, just as in every other aspect of community, of culture, society in which I have participated in my 49 years, there's a lot of racism. A lot of racism, all right? In the spiritual community, this is coming to you from a white-ass woman witch who is a spiritual practitioner. So that's why I'm here, and that's what I want to talk to you about. First of all, stop it. God damn it. What are we here for? We're spiritual people, right? we're trying to elevate the vibe. Now, that brings me to another point. When people say good vibes only, oh, good vibes only, light and love, only light and love. Fuck that shit, okay? That's what's called spiritual bypassing. It doesn't account for the fact that there's a lot of bullshit in the world and a lot of destruction and a lot of people that are trying to hold a lot of other people down. I saw this a quote today. Obviously, I'm talking to my phone. I was looking for my phone. But someone said you can't self-care your way out of the fact that you are being oppressed by the people who control the culture, the society. Fuck yes, 100% to that. To that, I would also add, though, you know what you can do? You can self-care yourself into a position where you are strong and you are empowered and you can fight those people who want to hold you and other people back. I want that to sink in. You can take care of yourself and empower yourself. Don't do it by trying to tear other people down. Okay? Especially I'm going to be really frank, to white people and to white women, spiritual practitioners who, are all about, oh, it's all light and love. And, well, you know what? It's not for a lot of people. And I have a lot of privilege, okay? Even though I'm a neurotypical person, even though I'm a broke-ass artist, seriously, I've got no money. Not proud of it, but I'm owning it. I'm working on my money stuff. I come from a background of no money. Mental illness runs in my family. I don't think anyone in my family was literate until about 100 years ago. I come from Texas, which, enough said. So my people are white, but they're downtrodden white people. You know what? It don't matter. I still have privilege. I have a hell of a lot of privilege. I have more privilege, me, white, middle-aged person, woman, than a lot of black people, Latino people, Asian people, you name it, who have a lot of wealth and resources and grew up in a lot more safe and secure situation than I did, okay? So I'm just trying to be real with you, white people, okay? You do have privilege. You can argue with me. You can say that you don't, but you do. I need you to accept that. And I need you to accept that racism is real. And if you're the kind of person who insists on love and light only, I'm going to make a wild guess that you're also the kind of person who says that you don't see color. That's also bullshit. And this is coming from a loving place, okay? A lot of people in my family, not my mom, not my blessed mom, but a lot of other people in my family are racist. I cut them off. They are no longer in my life. I cut my father off, okay? I cut my father off around the time of the OJ trial because of some horrible things that he said about that situation. So it can be done, okay? A lot of people are like, oh, well, they're family. Fuck that noise. If they're contributing to the problem, they're holding everybody down. You can't elevate your energy when you're simultaneously grasping onto oppressing other people. Okay, it's just the truth of the matter. So I want to relate this also to what's going on in Iran, which is horrifying. And it's also so weirdly uplifting to see these wonderful young women, these blessed young women, taking it on themselves, risking their lives to liberate themselves and the people who come after them, the women who are like themselves, the girls. That's so fucking badass. It's so earth-shattering. These are women of color, okay? Iranian women are women of color. Basically, the way white people have set it up, anybody who's not a white person is a person of color. Okay, whatever, that's fine. I'll bear that. Yeah. So these are the women, these are people who are saving the world. The black women in America who are voting, they're voting for the rest of us. Okay? I'm reading these polls that women who are like myself, white, middle-aged women, whatever, are suddenly like, they're not mad about Roe anymore. Now they're going to vote Republican because gas cost a lot or something. Fuck that noise. Bitches, get your shit together. All right? Do not for a second, don't for a second think that the people who are oppressing women of color won't oppress you because you're white, because they like you, because you fucking sleep with them. No. They're going to come after you. They're going to come after me. I'm autistic. I'm a witch. I'm weird. I'm poor. They're going to come after me. And after that, they're eventually going to get to you. So, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I'm going to tell you, if you vote for a Republican, you are basically signaling to the universe that you don't care about anything but bootlicking. You care about the people in power more than you care about yourself and the people beneath you. And that's wrong. That's wrong. Okay? Snap out of it, baby. Take care of yourself. Take care of the people around you. And don't oppress people. My God, it's really not that hard. Don't listen to the people who are telling you that it doesn't, if a person's life doesn't matter if they're born in another country, if they're born with a different color skin than you. Snap out of it. Wake up. Okay? I'm not trying to be woke, whatever. That's an old lead belly phrase from a song. It doesn't matter. People are feeding you lines that don't matter, okay? Listen to your heart, baby. Empower yourself. Know that there are people out there who want to do to you what is being done to women in Iran. They want to do that. And striking down Roe, that's a big step on the way. Okay, if you don't want to have an abortion, don't have an abortion. But it's not your business to tell other people. Okay, it's also not your business to tell people who should be able to be getting a loan repayment assistance or not. Okay, I'm $150,000 in student loan debt. All right, fuck it, $10,000, whatever. It's really not going to make that much of a difference to me. But if I was told either only black people get it or nobody gets it, I'd say give it to black people. There's systematic repression that goes back centuries. Since slavery, since before slavery, but let's start with slavery, okay? I grew up in Texas where I was taught back in the 70s and the 80s that the Civil War wasn't over slavery. It was about states' rights. Well, you know what the states were looking for the right to do? Hold slaves. So, look, you're not a better person because you're white. You're a luckier person because you're white, okay? That's it. So, shame is the tool of the colonizer, all right? I want all of us to try to decolonize our mind. And there's a woman she's a writer, she's a witch, she is just brilliant. Her name is Juliet Diaz. She's getting a lot of shit from her book, called The Author Within, which is a brilliant book about decolonizing your spirituality and your spiritual practice. I love that book, and a lot of people white people are saying that it's racist because it talks about the colonization. It happened, okay? It happened. Colonization happened. The people who look like me, who are from the part of the world that I'm from, did that to other people, and I've benefited from it. I've done my best not to do that, not to contribute to racism and to oppression in my life, but I have benefited from it, and I understand that. And it's difficult for me to understand that other white people don't understand that. And the fact that it has crept, racism has crept, or maybe has always been in the spiritual community, is upsetting to me. Because spirituality belongs to all of us, all right? And in this day and age, when oppression, fascism is on the rise, racism is on the rise, it's come out of its ugly hiding places and is screaming at us, hey, it's not so bad, it's okay, just look after your own people. If you're a white person, don't fucking fall for that shit, okay? It's oppression. And it's people in power trying to oppress people who don't have power. And so I just want to encourage you, whoever you are, to empower yourself by decolonizing yourself. So let me give you just a little tiny example, and it's kind of like it's a little colonization in my own head. When I was a kid, my mom always said I was so funny. She still does. She thinks I'm hilarious. I'm pretty funny, whatever. But I loved to be funny. I liked when my mom laughed at me, but I thought I would never want people to generally think of me as funny because that's not cute. That's not attractive to boys and to men. I say that now, and that makes me sick to my stomach. But that's internalized colonization. And that has nothing to do with color. You see, that's why I used that example. Because I want to tell you that that's bullshit. Are you kidding me? I had internalized the fact that a lot of men think that women can't be funny. That the women are not attractive if they're funny. And so I had determined that I would not be funny. I should not be funny. That's so sad. I was a little kid. Nobody had told me that, but I picked it up from the culture, okay? That's colonization. My little head was colonized. Okay? It wasn't about, in this particular case, somebody from another country coming and planting a flag at me. It was about what I had picked up. It was about my own desire, my ego's desire, my little self's desire to be deemed attractive by men and by boys. And so I thought I shouldn't be funny and I shouldn't make people laugh. That's colonization. So we put it in ourselves. I'm not a racist. I strive to be an anti-racist, because it's not enough to say I'm not a racist. I understand that. I don't have all the answers, not by a long shot. But I do know that shutting people out of the discussion because of their color of their skin or who they love or where they were born is wrong. I know that. I know a few things. I know myself. I know my own neurodivergence. I feel now that it is a blessing because I feel like I can see things in a way that other people can't see. I feel like maybe I'm kind of in between worlds in some ways. And this everything that I'm telling you tonight is very much coming to me from my spirit guides who are telling me to tell other white people who come from my ancestry to knock this shit off, okay? Because Earth can be a good place, but it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to start with decolonizing ourselves. So, I've yacked long enough, but I do want to tell you that there are some fabulous women of color, spiritual women of color, who I very much look to, and I would advise you to look to as well. I'm going to tell you 4 right now. The Trap Witch, Juliet Diaz, the Hood Witch, and Sahara Rose. She's Persian. She's an Iranian woman. Juliet Diaz is a Cubana indigenous woman, and the Trap Witch and the Hood Witch are black women, and they all have a whole lot of wisdom and can tell you a lot more about this shit than I can. But I'm happy to talk about it if you want. If you want to yell at me, say other things, whatever, I'm going to delete you. But, yeah, I love you, and I love this planet. And, I want to elevate us all, all right? Love and light, but also whatever the fuck you're going through, okay? All right. I love you.